So what's up, y'all? The grind ain't stopping. Dropping another video. Gonna be back dropping these videos for y'all. I'm telling y'all, shoot, what's we got the rest of July and 5 more months after July, y'all. Make y'all your account, bro.
We have a police
Make it
officer
count.
caught exercising authority he doesn't have to intimidate two shoppers in the parking lot of a department store. Special thanks to Slimfish, the People's Champ, for uploading this video.
Hey, nigga
To
got more
understand the
subs than
situation
me.
building up to the start of the video, let's go a little ahead in the video where he explains the scenario to an officer called as backup to the scene.
Yes, gentlemen.
Officer, okay, so when we first came in here, right? So he comes here all the time.
Sure.
I'm his cousin.
Okay.
Okay, so we came in here. He bought some things for his daughter. We bought a few pair of shoes. The girl at the counter knows him well. They had a nice conversation. But
Sure.
the whole time, this guy is standing in there staring at us, right?
Okay.
And I don't want to be the first one to say he profiling us or whatever, you know, or whatever. But it is what it is.
Sure.
So I go back in there. I take the little carts back in there. I'm like, cuz, this security's really beaming on us for some reason. So I take the carts back in, and the girl, we had left one of the bags. So she's
Sure.
like, I'm glad y'all came back because you left a bag. So we grabbed the bag. When I come out, we fire up a cigarette. We blowing everything up.
Bro, y'all smoking cigarettes together? Like hotboxing?
And this dude is just staring at us. Then he pulls his notebook out. Mind you, he was in the store the whole time until we came out.
Okay.
So when we first got here, he had pulled up beside us. So we basically got here at the same time. So when we come out, he comes out,
Sure.
gets in his car, right? So once he gets in his car, I'm like, it's obvious that, I said, cuz he's probably gonna try to run your plate.
The two guys in the car believe that this officer is harassing them. Technically, they don't have enough information to count it as harassment, and also, as the backup officer explains it,
We ain't worried about him running the plate. But
Yeah.
the point is, ain't nobody dumb, man. You gotta have some type of reason for running the plate. You're
Not necessarily. We can run plates for any reason or
Okay,
no reason
okay,
at
we'll
all.
say- we'll
what
say
he
that-
does have to have is he have to have what's called reasonable suspicion in order to make a stop on
That's-
you. He has
and-
to have some sort of reasonable suspicion that a crime has been committed.
Correct.
And at that point, you know, that's why I asked him
And that's,
what suspicion do
that's-
you have to
that-
stop him.
so the police officer did have clear grounds to run license plates. But to make an actual stop, he needed reasonable suspicion that would build up to the probable cause. Now, let's back up to the beginning. This is the police car moving up to him, and the officer gets out and signals them to stop. The minute he walks up to that window, things start to escalate badly.
Because I told you to.
You haven't have a reason, sir. You didn't
I'll
pull
tell
me
you
over.
what,
But you didn't
either
pull
get
me
the
over.
license out, or I'll hit for a backup and
Call
I'll
your
take
Call
you
your
supervisor.
out of the
supervisor.
car.
Call
Get
your
your
supervisor.
driver's license
Call your
out.
supervisor,
Call your
sir.
Get your
supervisor.
driver's license out right now.
Call your supervisor.
Get
Please
your
call your
driver's
supervisor.
license.
Because
I'm
you
not
had no.
calling the
You're not
supervisor.
pulling me over
You
neither.
get your driver's license
Call
out
your
right now and
supervisor.
show me ID.
Call your supervisor.
What do you need my ID for, sir?
Well, because you want to run your mouth to me.
No,
Man, shut your corny tail up and get back up in your little Crown Vic. Who drives Crown Vics anymore, bro? If you a police officer and you driving the Crown Vic, you old. You gotta be the old head. Officers don't even drive Crown Vics no more. Get back up in your little Crown
because
Vic,
you was
bro,
looking at my
and
license
chill.
plate. For what?
Exactly.
For what?
You don't have the right to run this.
I got
plate.
my rights
You
to
don't have
do
the right
anything
to run
I
this
want to
plate.
do. I'm a police officer.
can't
That-
run
that
this
Get
plate.
your
doesn't
driver's
mean
license
anything.
out,
That
or I'll
doesn't mean
pull you
anything.
over and I'll tow your car.
Whoa. I guess we can see why he
Bro, you not even above the law, officer. Even officers gotta follow rules and regulations. You not even above the law.
fired the same day. But let's get back to logic. The first question here is whether he can just demand a driver's ID without stating the cause for stopping them. According to the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution, there are 3 levels of police encounters: consensual, investigative detention, and arrest. In the case of a consensual encounter, the person has a right to refuse answers and can leave by stating, quote, "Am I free to leave?" Obviously, an arrest is a completely physical level force that is backed by evidence and, most importantly, a warrant. That means this qualifies as
If
investigative
y'all haven't
detention,
seen this
in
video
which,
right here, watch this
quote,
video of this guy getting tased. That stuff was funny.
an officer may legally detain you, meaning keep you from leaving, for investigation to gather more information. But the key pointer here is, quote, In order to keep you from leaving, the officer must be able to state a reasonable suspicion of illegal activity. It also states that an officer can temporarily detain you for either of the three reasons. Either the officer believes you match the description of the suspect of a crime, the person has committed some traffic violation, or the officer believes you're committing a crime. So, what was the reasonable suspicion here? So far, it's not stated
The
nor
reasonable
reviewed.
suspicion is this
You can't
cop's a
touch my
prick.
car.
Get your-
You're
get your
not pulling me
driver's
over.
license
You're not
out.
pulling me over.
I know he wants to be all like, get your black ass out the car and give me your license.
Get your
What is your
driver's
badge
license
number,
out.
sir?
Right there it is.
What's
right
your name?
Can you read it to me?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Read your badge
Get
number and your
dri-
name.
Get your driver's license
Read
out
your
or I'm gonna
badge.
lock you
I'm
up.
asking you. You can't
I'm
lock me
telling
up. You can't lock me up.
Control Tom 3315.
We asked you to call
No.
the supervisor.
That tight ass belt. I know he had to poke a hole up in that belt, bro. Look how tight his pants is.
Sir.
Yeah.
And he
I'm
fat.
telling you, we're not getting the supervisor.
We're not getting a supervisor. You see, he
Get your
said.
driver's license out.
When he was asked for his badge number and name, he gave them a very brief look at it, which clearly wasn't enough. Unfortunately, there is no federal statute or U.S. law about law enforcement officers identifying themselves. So the officer can choose to not share that information and can have the two guys arrested on a misdemeanor. But for that, he needs reasonable suspicion for stopping them in the first place. Although there are no laws about police identification, the Indiana Public Defender Council has clearly stated on their website that, in the case of police misconduct, quote, "Do not fight with the police. Pay attention to the officers, including their words, their actions, their names and badge numbers, and report them to the police agency later."
That's facts. Like, you gotta pay attention to every little thing a police officer says, because they will beat around the bush and be like, no, I didn't say that, I said this. So you gotta pay very close attention to everything
From the
that they
interaction,
say, bro.
we
Them niggas
see
will
that the
cap.
two guys were not fighting the police, but the officer's choice of words could get him in trouble. Well, I mean, it kind of did. The two guys ask him to call his supervisor, and after a lot of rambling, the officer finally tells them this.
What's your name, officer? That's all I want. Because we're
Give
following
me your
the.
driver's license and you can go.
We asked for a supervisor. You denied us that.
I'm not going to get a supervisor.
I'm asking for your
I'm
name.
off-duty employment.
You're off duty?
Exactly. Off-duty employment.
If you're off duty,
Bro, I can't stand this about police officers. Like, them folks always want your license, bro. Just so they can see if you got a warrant out for your arrest, so they can make a little bit of
then
money
why are
that
you
day.
stopping people?
And I'm stopping you because you're suspicious.
Why
About
are we
what?
suspicious?
So what'd you come back around for?
Because I want to know
No,
your.
no, you jumped out of the car on us because we
Exactly.
looked at you.
Because I don't know what you guys are doing. Now show me your
You don't know what
driver's
we're
license.
doing. You just seen
Show
us
me your
shopping.
driver's license.
So now the officer claims he's off-duty employment and does not have a supervisor. But before we get there, is he obligated to call in a supervisor despite a lack of reasonable suspicion? Well, so unfortunately, there's no federal or U.S. law, again, about a supervisor arriving at the time of police contact. Article 1 allows law enforcement officials to fulfill the duty imposed upon them. However, these officers can talk to one another after the interaction is over, which depends on the department's policy. Now, coming to the off-duty employment part, he's technically allowed to make off-duty arrests, much like a so-called citizen's arrest. In the case of Svechitsky versus Delgado, an off-duty police officer arrested a patron for heckling. Later,
Bro, that
the
sound
trial
Russian or
court
Swedish,
improperly granted
that
him
name.
qualified immunity. According to the model policy on off-duty police by the National Criminal Justice Institute, quote, "An officer shall act in his official capacity, whether on or off duty, if he observes an incident requiring law enforcement action in which time is of the essence, or if his action will safeguard life or property or prevent the escape of a criminal." There was no reason to accuse the two guys under any of these circumstances, whether he was an off-duty or an on-duty officer. So far, the only thing missing here is reasonable suspicion.
Negative.
Refusing to identify.
And that's something else, bro. I keep saying with these videos. The police officer always, give me your license. Give me your license. Well, what's the reason for you stopping me? Just know I need your license. Like, bro, come on now. Give these folks a reason.
Himself.
They'll say anything but
Get
give
your
you a
driver's
reason.
license out.
A civil servant.
Off duty.
Off duty. pulling people over at Nordstrom parking
Ain't
lot.
nobody pulled you over. You stopped.
Well, if you ain't
No,
pull us over, you
you
don't need to
stopped
see no
me.
license.
You jumped out and stopped
No,
me.
I said, show me your driver's
You
license.
jumped out and
I
stopped me.
said, show me your ID.
You jumped out and stopped
I'm
me,
not gonna
sir.
argue with you.
It's
Sir,
not an argument.
okay, we
Wait.
just
And then that's something else. If they would have kept driving, he would have hopped back up in that raggedy ass Crown Vic, and then they'd be like, Shh, "We got a runner, run and chase." And now he's saying he didn't stop them, but technically he did, cause if the police officer gets out the car and he's like, "Stop!" Right, like stop your vehicle, you gotta stop. If them niggas would have drove off, it'd have been a chase.
Wait,
It's just
And
one
they would've looked
question. What
bad.
was the reason for you jumping out on us?
suspicious behavior.
What, like what?
Exactly.
What was the suspicious behavior?
Exactly.
Buying a bunch of shoes
But
at
you guys are
Nordstrom?
coming back around to look at me.
No,
or
you
do
jumped out the
whatever
car.
You're gonna do.
You
I don't
jumped
know
out
if
the
you got
car
guns or
first.
what.
You jumped out the car first. That's why we.
Man, shut up. If they got guns up in their vehicle, bro, and if they licensed to carry, even if the state is like a y'all know what I'm trying to say. Where like they don't care if you carry, if it's open carry, bro, it don't even matter.
Came back.
Driver's license out. It's the last time.
But
I'm
he
gonna
said
tell
that
you.
because they
He
black.
ain't got to do nothing. He can't even pull you over out there. He's not. He can't pull you over.
Get your driver's license.
Let's go,
out.
cuz.
We're gonna wait for backup, sir.
Yeah, we wait.
An authority over you, or
You
however.
don't have no authority over
Not
me.
me. Not
We're
me.
asking. We want
Your
the.
cop has some
supervisor.
authority over me.
Your
Who's your
supervisor?
supervisor?
This dude is stupid, bro. He said the authority over him. This cop just wanted to say something. Call the sergeant or captain, whoever he got to
I
call.
don't have a supervisor out.
Yeah,
Oh,
you do.
You're a self-contracted civil servant. Is that what you're saying?
I don't answer questions to you. We'll wait.
You don't even answer what your name is, officer?
Nope.
You can't even tell us that?
Nope.
Are you really an officer of the law?
Yep.
We don't have any proof that you are.
Well, that's
Because
too
you have a
bad.
shirt that
Get
says
your driver's license out.
What is your proof that you're even legal to
Shut
stop
up.
us? What is
Why
your
don't
proof?
you shut up?
What
I'm
is
not
your
talking
proof?
to you.
What is your proof? I'm being calm. You don't have to yell and spit in the car.
Yeah, I do.
Now you're spitting bodily fluids on us.
Yeah. There you go.
You know
Better get your driver's license out.
that's all right, officer. We're compliant.
Now the backup officer arrives at the scene, the one we met earlier in the video. After hearing both sides of the story, he pulls the officer to the side and asks him the same questions that the two guys were asking. Later, he walks by the window to
And if they did have some, his big ass would be dead. Bro ain't even got on a vest. Unless he got on like one like them shirt vests. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like it's like a shirt about like this, but it got like Kevlar on it. Bro, he'd be dead if they had
understand the
some.
situation, and the two guys pulled up the two concerning points: the reasonable suspicion, which he's legally obligated to share, and failure to identify, which he's not legally obligated to share.
Ain't nobody dumb, man. You got to have some type of reason for running the plate. You're
Not necessarily. We can run plates for any reason
Okay,
or no reason
okay,
at
well,
all.
say- well,
what
say
he
that-
does have to have is he have to have what's called reasonable suspicion in order to make a stop on
That's-
you. He has
and-
to have some sort of reasonable suspicion that a crime has been committed.
correct.
And at that point, that's why I asked him
And that's
what suspicion
that's-
you have to
that-
stop him.
And I heard you asking them that. And my thing was, you just seen us buying these items, and that's why when he was explaining to you, you was like, well, loss prevention said they stole some stuff?
Right.
No. That's not what happened. You just seen us buy this stuff, load it in our car. What is making us suspicious? Then he said,
I don't know.
then he
So
said,
that's why I asked
is
him
it-
that question.
When we asked him to identify himself, is
Mm-hmm.
he supposed to identify himself?
we just asked him his name. What's your name, officer? He was like, I don't gotta tell you my name and blah blah blah. Well, can we
Well,
see your supervisor?
He's supposed to identify himself as a law enforcement officer. So I
Right.
mean, he could say, "I'm with Marion County Sheriff's Department." Okay.
Yeah. And then he said something about he's off duty, something.
Yeah.
I said, cause he can't even. I don't even. Cause does he have the power to even pull people over on the street? We're still in
If he's a Marion County Sheriff's deputy, then yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But we're still in the
If somebody's
parking.
committed a traffic infraction, yeah.
We're still in the parking lot, man.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
he
you
was
can still
just.
commit traffic infractions in a parking lot, but the question is what infraction was committed to justify a stop. As far as I'm concerned, there was no traffic infraction,
It
so
wasn't.
there's no reason to stop the vehicle.
So, can you?
Because there was no traffic infraction committed, there was no reasonable suspicion to stop. Because there's no reasonable suspicion, it was against the law to hold the two against their will in a private parking lot. In 2019, the Lawrence Township Deputy Constable, which he was, was fired from the third-party agency
Good.
called Nordstrom that had hired him. According to them, quote, "As soon as we became aware of the incident, we apologized to the customer."
Yeah, they had that bread that day, bro. They went to Nordstrom. Yeah. Bye-bye, Piggy. You can't help us, but all right, y'all. I'm see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all for watching, and thank y'all for rocking with your boy for this long. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace.